My lords, today I bring a report regarding a failed attempt at the creation of a utopian way of life. In a surprisingly similar situation to a previous report, it appears that a megacorp with extremely questionable ethics imprisoned a set of naive aliens and convinced them that the space station they were housed on was being run by a deity. The Oracle. The megacorp attempted to operate with total control over the space station's populace. Every choice was predetermined, from what to eat for dinner, to who they were allowed to socialize with, and even copulate with. Dr. Shinku details the following report. A crashed alien space station has been unearthed on Carador Prime, seemingly having been buried for many millennia. The masterful construction previously held a self-contained arthropod civilization of approximately 1 million aliens, who are now all deceased. It is currently unclear if they died in the crash or sometime before that. Their dead bodies have been preserved within the station, making exploration of the otherwise magnificent interior an eerie endeavour. Although the cause of their civilization's demise is not yet clear, the inhabitants perished suddenly, well before impact. Some died peacefully, clutching tiny idols, while others bearing makeshift weapons appear to have suffered violent trauma. Records aboard the station revealed that former inhabitants were deeply religious and had no contact with the outside world, which they feared and despised. Every aspect of their lives was governed by an omnipotent oracle, who predetermined their destinies at birth. The oracle's divine will decided everything, from their choice of partner, their choice of occupation, even down to the small details of their daily lives, leaving them with little individual freedom. Most citizens seemed to be afraid to diverge from their destined paths, as all who did perished under mysterious circumstances. Most seemed to have suffered at the hands of divine accidents, airlocks randomly opening, or defense turrets malfunctioning. Some simply went missing altogether. The science team assigned to examine the crash station has made a remarkable discovery. Embedded within the station walls is a hidden surveillance system that appears to have been feeding visual and auditory information to a single point somewhere within the station's core. It appears that someone was monitoring the disciples at all times, even in their most private moments. In some places, the equipment has been torn out or sabotaged, and closer to the central hub are signs of violence and disruption. It seems as though, at some point, the inhabitants discovered they were being monitored, and the situation aboard the station became violent. We have traced the wiring to a temple complex devoted to the worship of the Oracle and her clergy in the station's central node. But in the Oracle's chambers, instead of a divine entity, resides an enormous artificial intelligence Nexus array, branded with the Megacorp logo, Oracle. Thick cables and wiring extend from its Nexus core like a nervous system throughout the entire space station. Secret communications between the inhabitants revealed that there was a failed attempt at storming the temple and deactivating the AI. It seems likely that the society collapsed when it became known that their lives were not governed by divine will at all, but by a computer. Restarting the Nexus will require extensive repair work, but we've given the go-ahead nevertheless. Our engineers have finally restored the Oracle's Nexus to an operative state, but not without first disabling its defensive systems. Evidence suggests it may have been responsible for not only keeping the station inhabitants alive, but also for killing them. It ran a complex computational model that forecast their lives with an estimated accuracy of 75%, correcting divergence and incapacitating future troublemakers before they could disrupt the divine order. Now that the AI is back online, it has indicated it wishes to speak with us. The Oracle manifests as an elaborate 3D hologram of a tall arthropod female clad in long flowing robes. She bows her head in greeting, and then stared emptily ahead with hundreds of huge orbed unseeing eyes. They glowed dimly in the gloom as she began to speak. Welcome to Divinity Station, friends. I cannot help but notice that you have disabled my security systems. May I implore you to restore it immediately? I can assure you that it is only there for your protection. Our immediate question was to ask the Oracle what happened to the inhabitants of the space station. The AI initially avoided our question, stating that she was the Oracle, an artificial intelligence gifted through programming the ability to ascertain the future. She continued to speak. My software allows me to predict your future with divine accuracy of 74.9% reoccurring. I sense great doubt in you, great danger ahead. Your society is riddled with crime and deviation. I can make the pain go away. Clearly, this did not answer our question, and the science team noted in their log that they found this particular response fairly amusing. Given that they were a science team exploring deep space, great danger was almost guaranteed. Fortunately, in our society, danger money is a thing. Irrespective, the AI was clearly being avoidant. The science team persisted, and the AI eventually gave an acceptable response, if what somewhat coldly, for a machine at least. I have a failsafe. It requires me to terminate a trial in the event of a code 034N deviation. The research had become a threat to the Republic. The science team queried what a code 034N was. The AI quickly responded, much more gleefully than before. The test subjects had developed free will. Free will can only be abolished with nerve gas. Pleasant thought indeed. The team pressed for more information regarding the trial that the AI spoke of. The Oracle stated that she was designed to build and maintain a society free of crime and suffering, a utopia in which every citizen was instilled with divine purpose and lived up to their full potential, unfettered by indecision and desire. The science team continued their discussion with the AI for some time. It became far less scientific and much more philosophical and political. The AI was clearly programmed to represent a hyper-authoritarian figure, and it struggled to grasp that the concept of free will was likely the ingredient lacking in its experiment. The team postulated that if the candidates were given choices to make, they would be far less likely to ultimately rebel. Often, even the illusion of control or hope for the future was enough to maintain a docile society. An interesting deviation for the science team, but one that must ultimately end as they continue on their exploration. This, however, does leave us with a choice, my lords. Clearly this AI was designed by a hyper-advanced empire, with great technological prowess in the field of artificial intelligence. We could attempt to research it further, strip the AI's Nexus down to its parts, and attempt to figure out how to recreate our own sapient AIs, hopefully with better programming. After all, the Oracle does possess a quantum multi-core processor. We could use that. However, we could also attempt to use the Oracle to aid with the administration of our own empire, as indeed she has requested. It appears that she wishes to continue her work. Perhaps she could become a governor of a specific world. I would suggest one of our penal colonies. Better we test it on criminal alien scum than our own citizens. Equally, we could let her stay housed here, fill this habitat up with more citizens, and let the AI continue its work. Can it truly construct a utopia? Only time will tell. I leave the decision in your capable hands, my lords. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. What decision would you make? Would you allow the AI to continue its work on our own people, or would you simply scrap it and use the parts to build battleship computers? Please let me know in the comments, and as ever, if you want to hear another story, please click the video on screen now.